Men, listen up. Wash your penis.
What's good, y'all boys? Welcome back again to another video. You feel me? Listen, we're watching another video that's talking about the epidemic that men are currently going through, okay? So this is from Shoe on Head. She got 1.68 million subscribers. And I have no idea who she is. It says, comedic social commentary from a left-wing populist point of view. Stick around if you like loud screeching and bad memes. And so I guess some more leftist perspective on this topic, right? The male loneliness epidemic. It's 21 minutes. Let's see if she got some good stuff to say. Like, I want to see other people's point of view and stuff and see what they touch on. Because it seems like a lot of men are very lonely in this day and age.
I regret to inform you, the men are not okay. That's right, folks, the men are not okay. The men have no friends, no girlfriend, no college education, no money, are breaking their legs and inserting metal rods into their bones to be a few inches taller,
Facts.
and listening to AI Batman help them overcome their pornography addictions.
You deserve real love.
Turns out the society that was built by and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe on Head. Yes. And if you have a problem with that,
She said allegedly built by and for men?
video by Shoe on Head. Now you might be thinking, oh look, and allegedly for men has indeed let them down. Now you might be thinking, oh look.
Yeah, okay, it's funny. I know I'm trying not to talk too much. I want to listen to what she got to say. But it is funny when people talk about the patriarchy. Look, see, the patriarchy affects men too. It was made by men for men, so it's your fault. Nigga, what the fuck? I ain't built shit. Nigga, I was born here, okay? And just because the people who made these systems were men does not mean they were made for men, okay? That's not how it works. It was made for whatever's going to give them the most profits. That's what it is. So just the fact that they call it the patriarchy and they're disingenuous with it. They try to put it on a regular person like me as if I had anything to do with any of the things that were put in place. You know what I mean? The people that put things in place, they put in place that's going to make them the most money. Anyways, so I like how she said allegedly. I like that.
Look, another boo-hoo poor men video by Shoe on Head. Yes. And if you have a problem with that, tune into literally anything else. Men are in a crisis, and it seems nobody really cares. And the people who do care just seem like the people who want to sell them shit. It's not me. I'm different. So before we get into this...
Andrew Tate and them other boys trying to sell niggas courses and shit. I'm like, bro, come on, bro. Just tell them go outside, go get some sun, and join a club, join a community, learn a skill, learn a hobby.
Let's quickly get into today's sponsor.
And eat good and exercise.
Are men and boys struggling? And what should we do about it?
A few new studies have come out that have shown that young men are more lonely and single than ever before. But it's not just men. The women and children, too. It's predicted 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030. But according to the media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is 2030. But according to me, it's good. By 2030, 45% of prime working age women between 25, 45, and 44 in the U.S. will be single, the largest share in history, up from 41% in 2018, according to a 35-page study titled Rise of the She-Economy by investment bank Morgan Stanley. In total, the single women population will grow by an average rate of 1.2%. Okay. The media, this is a good thing. The she-economy is booming.
It's good news for these retailers, duh. Because these retailers, all these fucking corporations, guess what? Who do they target? They target women. They target... Okay, you know what? I'm going to let her talk. I'm sorry. I'm going to let her talk.
They say. And meanwhile, men being single is treated like this.
New study explains why some single men are having a hard...
why'd that lady make that face? Hold on. Yo, what's going on?
Like this.
New study explains why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
Some of the music that they listen to speaks very derogatory.
Right. Yeah, man, stop listening to that derogatory music. Then maybe you won't be single. I don't know, I think men and women being single and lonely kind of shows there might be something wrong with society. Perhaps we should address this, not just wave it off as empowering or pathetic.
Oh my gosh, who is this girl? Okay, because, you know, I was kind of thinking this might be a little bit more like I don't know, like feminist, liberal leaning, whatever. But she's so far she's saying things that I like to hear.
Several different articles. I love how that's my source. I read about it on the internet. Research shows that people from individualist countries show a greater sense of loneliness. This is linked to socioeconomic development, increased education, a shift towards white-collar jobs, and urbanization. Japan also has an issue with loneliness. In fact, they have a whole movement of people they call the hikikomori. Did I say that right?
Those Japanese incels?
Basically, postmodern hermits. Mostly young men who completely withdraw from society, secluding themselves in their rooms for months and years at a time. In 2010, there was an estimated 700,000 hikikomori in Japan. And today, it's estimated to be about 1.55 million. And because of things like this, people aren't having babies, so Japan's population has been in a sharp decline since 2011. It's gotten so bad that Japan even produces videos of live-action women staring into the camera to help the hikikomori learn to cope with eye contact and reintegrate them back into society. So basically, if you want to know America's future, look no further than Japan. A lot of people, including myself, blame this partially on the rise of social media and technology. RIP to the king. Although technology makes things easier, it can also make us more atomized. Why go to the mall when I can just tap, 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 buy a new microphone, and have
Yep, that's why all the malls are like ghost towns now, except for like, you know, the bigger ones that have the luxury brands. But boy, malls used to be popping back in the day. Now, go to a mall, boy, it's a...
shipped to me in a day. Why hang out with friends when I can get all my social interaction I need from Twitter and streamers? Why go on dates and bother meeting women when I could just tap, 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 Google big boob and get 2 million results? Or see my high school crush's holes on OnlyFans for only $5. Instant dopamine, instant satisfaction, and hey, who even needs a real woman when you could just have an AI girlfriend?
Oh my gosh.
We're so f***ed. Dating apps really are the great Satan, and I'm convinced they've completely broken men's brains. Women on dating apps are picky. Women in general...
Ban them, ban them. That's a video I'm gonna make. Ban dating apps. We need to ban them. Ban them!
Are picky.
Listen, certain shit you just gotta take control of before it gets terrible. They might try to call you like a dictator or authoritarian or totalitarian, whatever bullshit. But listen, certain shit you have to nip it in the bud before it comes to something even worse, okay? You can't let them people try to guilt trip you into doing you can't let the people guilt trip you out of doing something that's going to be beneficial for a majority of people, okay? Sometimes that just is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
And I mean, naturally we are pickier. You know, we're the ones who carry the babies. At least for now. But on dating apps, you have to admit, it's a little insane. It's safe to say that the commodification of love and the window shopping of dating apps probably has to do a lot with the rise of lonely single men. Men are not just lonely when it comes to dating, they're lonely when it comes to friendship too. According to Vox, Americans are currently in a friendship recession, and men are being hit the hardest. The percentage of men who reported having at least 6 close friendships fell in half since the 90s. 1 in 5 men say they have no close friendships.
Damn!
Looking at all these statistics, the explosion of figures like Andrew Tate is not surprising at all.
I believe being a man is a blessing because it starts so difficult. I believe that every man is born without any value at all. I think that the world's never going to think you're important unless you make yourself important.
And recently, a new study came out about how young men are moving towards the right. And
shit. That's the second time I've seen that graph, but that graph is not entirely accurate. You know, it's something that we can believe is true, right? Because it seems like it's true, but that is not entirely accurate. I don't remember the details of why it's not accurate. I was reading it, and it made sense, and I actually looked at the source it came from. If I find the tweets, it was a thread of tweets, and they linked the actual source of it. Yeah, it's not entirely accurate, okay? But actually, that's going to be a separate video, because something that was very interesting, though, was that even though it wasn't accurate, people's response on Twitter was like, see, they're framing it as like a bad thing. What is wrong with the men? Why are they becoming more conservative and less liberal? As if liberal is good and conservative is bad. So some people's mindsets on it already is already fucked up. So even though that graph data is not entirely the most accurate data set, it was exposing a lot of people's true feelings. But I mean, obviously that's already known. Like, duh. No, duh.
Every other month, we, the liberal, sockdem, leftist, whatever you want to call this space online, performs the same song and dance. What's wrong with men? Why is this happening? Why don't we have a leftist Andrew Tate? We need to push men to the left. Andrew Tate rarely, if ever, talks about politics. Andrew Tate talks about men, and the left only talks about men when they talk about Andrew Tate. A few months ago, during one of the monthly song and dances, some progressive people I follow made the mistake of addressing men's issues, and the even bigger mistake of pointing their finger at
the reason young men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them for our own sake. Oh, okay.
Their own spaces for not doing enough to address said men's issues.
Recently, there were some statistics by healthcare company Cigna indicating that men are the loneliest generation. And addressing it doesn't mean that you turn your back on issues pertaining to women, but it does mean that we should be focused on what it is in society that is leading to this epidemic, what the left can do to offer solutions, and how we can basically fight back against the more nefarious figures who have filled the void that, you know, men are struggling with, people like Jordan Peterson and what have you. Now,
come on, bro. Nefarious. Come on, Anna.
Vosh, who's a popular streamer, had tweeted this thread that I think is really, really important to address. He writes, "I cannot stress enough how important it is to understand that 12-year-old white boys on Twitch are not being pulled into fascism because of some Machiavellian desire to preserve and expand their privileges. It's because the right talks to them and the left doesn't."
The responses to these tweets...
Yep, and that connects to a common mindset that is on the left and liberals and Democrats or whatever, where they don't like to talk to people that don't already agree with what they believe, or they like to chastise people that disagree with 1% of stuff that they believe in. And so they immediately push you aside and they call you all types of names and says that something's wrong with you because y'all don't agree 100% everything. And then they get surprised when people don't fuck with them. Oh my God, what a surprise. Like, come on, dummy. Be for real. That's not how you solve problems, and that's not how you find solutions. It's not. And that's the thing. And you see a lot with the Anna Kasparian situation, right? Okay, she disagreed with, she had some takes about crime and homelessness, and then didn't want to be called a birthing person. People on the left, they tore her up, right? They attacked her, they called her all types of shit, they called her a Nazi, they called her alt-right, they called her a grifter, and yet, when she went on, a more right-leaning platform and was just talking to them, they were more receptive to her. Like, okay, well, that's understandable. Like, the stuff she's saying, it's understandable how she feels. Even though she doesn't agree with everything we say, there's common ground on certain stuff. Okay, cool. Like, it was a lot more accepting. Meanwhile, these people on the left are trying to push her, trying to say she's right. They're trying to push her into the right. That's the thing. And she disagree on, 2% of stuff. They agree on everything else. But disagree on one thing, boom, you're cut off. That's the type of shit, that's a cult mindset. And people don't fuck with that, bro. So, of course, men, young boys, men are not going to be on your side because you act like they're the most evil monsters ever to be created in the world and something's wrong with them. You need to fix them. Come on, bro. Come on. That's the problem with a lot of these mindsets that they push through the movies, through TV shows, through the media. They push these things as if women and minorities are always victims, right? And men are evil and they're the perpetrators of every single ill in the world. Of course they're not going to want to fucking talk to you. You make them seem like demons. Come on, bruh. Come on.
In this content were very normal, level-headed, and respectful. Me when I lie. LMAO, cry about it.
Look, of course. Lie. Oh my gosh. Hassan, of course. Stupid ass Hassan. LMAO.
Oh, cry about it.
So of course, some black girl cry about it. Oh, as a guy who's always had more difficulty in dating and making connections in my peers through life, these convos about loneliness men always hurt more. Cry about it. Again, when a man has an issue, it's not taken serious. They don't care. You're a man. The world is built for you and by you. Why would you have any issues? Shut up. That's not reality. That's the shit I hate. I hate it. Because they do it to men. And on another level, they kind of do it to white people too. And it's like, bro, everybody has issues. That's the reality of it. Everyone has issues. Men have issues. Women have issues. Black people have issues. White people have issues. Straight people have issues. Gay people have issues. Bruh, it's everyone that has issues. But when they create, and I blame a lot of it on social media, where they create these, you know, the algorithm pushes the stuff that you already believe. They create these cults. They create these cult-like mindsets, and they're forming and generating more bias than ever before. I promise you. I promise you this. I promise you for real. It's real shit, and it really doesn't make me feel good. Because I've experienced people like this in real life. Okay, I've witnessed this in real life, not just social media, not just, you know, I've seen these type of mindsets and what they do to people. It's not good. Okay, it's not pretty. Let's keep going. Boo fucking who? Like, come on, bro.
Fucking who? Oh no, poor
widow man having problems. Boo fucking who?
Who?
Grow
the
up.
Fuck up then.
Like,
Have
are you
men
serious?
considered being smarter? I'm enjoying all these sad little moids and their sad little tweets about their sad.
And it's the same thing. Back to the movie shit, right? Where a lot of times they complain. A lot of these writers are secretly activists or whatever. Not even secretly, because, you know, they don't hide it. But they complain all the time about men and toxic men, and look how men portray themselves, yada yada yada. And yet, when they make these female characters, they make the female characters act just like the men that they complain about. What the fuck? How is that empowering? No, it's a power fantasy where you want to feel revenge for some supposed ill that was done to you by maybe one or two men in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you just want to push it out as if that's you want to control the narrative. But look, it reflects real life. Because look, the way that these people are talking down to men is the same way that they claim that men talk down to them. Look at this. Someone is calling out for help, crying out for help for pain, out in pain. And what do you say? Boo fucking who? Why don't you try being smarter? Grow up. What in the world? That's crazy. And then they get surprised when some of these people become mass shooters. Oh my God. Wow, why do they do this? What's going on? Why? Maybe it's because look how you treat these people. In an era where mental health is the worst it's ever been, mental illness is skyrocketing, you would think that you would, you know, the same people that preach compassion and understanding and empathy and sympathy would be more empathetic and sympathetic and compassionate to people that's having issues. Oh, it doesn't count if you're a man. Who cares? Bye.
Pathetic lives. Sounds like a personal problem. Is the lack of compassion for men in the room with us right now? Maybe men are just not good people then. I'm
What?
so fucking tired of people trying to make male loneliness a huge societal problem. Yeah, no, their fifis are not my responsibility, and I shouldn't have to be punished because they can't get their shit together as
Punished?
human
What?
beings. Grow the up. Why are we trying to win these entitled little predators over? The left isn't for them. That's why they go right in the first place. We're all lonely and alienated. It's young men going to the alt-right in droves. The problem isn't our messaging, it's them.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All men are predators. All men are incels.
It's
Like, this is what they're
literally
saying,
not
bro.
our problem. Men flock to Andrew Tate not because they're lonely, but because they're bigots. Hope this helps. Nah, it's just misogynists being louder than before and not getting laid. LOL. Cry harder, losers. 90% of all homicides recorded worldwide were committed by male perpetrators. We should just get rid of all males, to be honest. This includes trans women, as they still retain male violence. By the way, you know the Tumblr feminists who were like, all men are sexist and rapists, male tears, penises are evil, blah 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 back in the day? Well, this is them now. Should've just let me cook back then. Listen up, chuckle. I'm white, socially awkward, autistic, in my 40s, ugly, overweight, crippled, got a weird balding pattern, and have bad skin. You know what I didn't do? Choose to become a fascist, because I recognize most of the sort that look like me are the problem. I may be hideously ugly and pathetic, but at least I'm not a fascist. Thank you for your input, buddy. You're, really helping the situation. The reason young men flock to alt-right MRA movements is because the left gives brain-dead advice to young men. We need to be more compassionate to them, for our own sake. I'm sorry, but how is respect women brain-dead advice? What advice? Don't rape? Don't be a rapist is bad advice? Help, I have no friends or community, I feel suicidal. Have you considered not raping? Act like a decent fucking human being. It's not hard. Is brain dead advice? Brain dead advice like get consent and don't be a Nazi and women are people. Walking up to men struggling with loneliness and depression like
Kids, don't be racist.
incredible. Here's my actual advice I would give to my teen boys as a leftist. 1. Always get enthusiastic consent. 2. Save the planet. 3. Don't say that. It's actually kind of racist.
What?
Like, what the f is this? How does this address men and their issues? It doesn't. Why is there a
That's the thing with a lot of shit, bro. And you see it in, oh my gosh, you see it a lot, okay, when it comes to dealing with women, okay? If you're a man who deals with women, you often notice a trend where a lot of them only want to see things through the lens of what they want, okay? So look at this. They're talking about how men are crying for help. Men are crying, boys are crying for help. And instead of looking through the lens of what they need, they're looking through the lens of what women need from them. And it's like, bro, that got nothing to do, like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with what their issues are. You only are caring about yourself. This is why there's stereotypes like, oh, women are self-centered. Women only care about themselves. But look how these women are acting. Look how these women on the left side of the spectrum act, okay? Because they're not worried about what the man's problem is. They're worried about what their own perceived problems are, even if they're not even real or they never even experienced them. They're worried about their perceived problems and how men should address their problems. Like, come on, bro. No, bro. And you see that in a lot of relationship-wise. Let's say if a girl has an idea to do something, right? It's not really based off what she thinks that her man will find fun. It's what she thinks that she will have fun with him being there. Now, that's not, all the time, because there are definitely plenty of women that are considerate and think about what their partners want. That's facts, okay? That's divine feminine energy, okay? They're very compassionate and considerate. But there are plenty of women that are on the opposite side of that spectrum. And these tweets are real tweets from real people. She blocked their names out. How nice. I wouldn't have bothered to even edit that shit to block their names out. But look at that. Look at that. I wonder what her comments say, because she's more left-leaning, but I'm sure if these are her takes, I'm sure that she has a lot of other good takes. So maybe her comment section is not going to be like super anti against her. Let me give her a like. This is one day ago, and it's almost at 1 million views, and it's, wow.
So we seem to become a liberal. Hey men, here's how to fix all your problems. Agree with me politically. Men flock to the MRA movement because they're the largest beneficiaries of MRA shit. Imagine saying women flock to women's rights activism because they're the biggest beneficiaries of women's rights. Like, no
duh, monkey.
Aside from procreation purposes, men have become obsolete.
Nigga, look at that picture. I like that she blocked the name, but kept the picture. That is a bald white dude saying that. Men have become obsolete except for sex and having kids.
Most women can find other methods of achieving orgasm without a man there. And speaking as a man, most of us are horrid to be around. And I don't blame any woman for just saying, no thanks.
Oh my gosh. See, and if I say there's a war on masculinity in men, I'm crazy, I'm tripping. I want y'all to go on my channel, click videos, and scroll down all the way to, I think, last year. And it's around one of the first, rant commentary videos I did. And I talked about a very peculiar and very disheartening Instagram dialogue. A dialogue that I had on Instagram DMs with somebody that I used to know about some bullshit. And this is a dude, a very soy boy infested dude, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see the mindset that he was going through. And this is in my early stages of being super duper aware of all this stuff. Like, I was already aware to an extent. But, obviously, as time goes on, you grow more, you learn more. So, especially thinking back on that shit now, it, blows my mind, bro. I actually might rewatch it on my drive to work, because I'm late for work right now, because I've been filming. But, god damn. Isn't this crazy? This is crazy shit, bro.
This is what every Just Pearly Things tweet looks like to me. Just with the genders swapped.
Facts.
This is pathetic. You know what fixes male loneliness? Jerking off. As a man,
What?
I'll say this. Sit down, shut up, and beat one out.
It makes
You'll
it
feel better,
worse.
I promise. Yeah, guys, just beat one out. Just off. Just watch porn. Batman will be very disappointed in all of you. It's so funny how men feel entitled to a girlfriend. No, you sexist freak.
What?
On one side is wanting a girlfriend is sexist entitlement, and the other side is here's how to get a girlfriend. I don't know, bro. What happened to males just kicking the bucket? Now they just come on here and try to make their loneliness and misery into some social justice issue. Oh, trust me, men are still kicking the bucket. And when they're not giving mind-blowing advice just to be a liberal, they're outright dismissing men's issues completely. It's not our job to educate them. Since men created the problem, They need to take steps to fix it.
What
we
the
have other
fuck
things
is
to
wrong
care
with you?
about. Men
Oh
can
my
figure out
God.
their own problems that they created. Again, it's not women's jobs to change how men are socialized. It's a man issue, and y'all need to address that amongst yourselves. Men created their own problems. Men can solve their own problems. The left is busy. Why does the well-being of other people concern me? Leftist, by the way. It's all systemic issues and societal factors and blah 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 until it's a man and then suddenly it's pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. This problem is just a consequence of the patriarchy. Now take a wild guess about which gender created the patriarchy. Solve your own problems and leave women alone.
That's why I never take those like the anime profile, cartoon profile pictures. They're not real people to me. They're bots. You're not a real person, because a real person is a compassionate person, can see other people's pain and suffering and be like, dang, you know, what's going on? What can we do as a people, as a society, to help them out their issues? But no. While real men and real boys are suffering, they'd rather focus on boys that want to be girls and girls that want to be boys. They want to focus on women. They want to focus on everybody else except for men. And especially not white men. Ew. Yuck. And black men, whew, yikes.
Rightly mock the bootstraps rhetoric until the subject is a man, and then it's bootstraps all the way down. They would never talk about any other group this way. It's wild. And it's kind of like both sides are telling men to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but one is like, I'll show you how, and the other is like, fuck off. And when they're not telling men to straight up fuck off, they're giving the 200 IQ answer that nobody has ever heard before. Just show your emotions, bro. And I'm not dismissing this problem, okay? I've made videos talking about this. Oh, you're crying at your grandfather's funeral? Okay, faggot. And studies have shown that men are scared to be vulnerable, even around the homies. And can you blame them when the media says stupid like this? Fellas, is it woke?
What did it say? UK builders go woke. Study finds 3/4 of tradesmen discuss their feelings with colleagues, while 2/3 shun the fried... What? The fried breakfast, and nearly half say they're history buffs? Wait, what the fuck? What? Okay.
To open up to your fellow men and discuss history. Men are socialized to believe strength, dominance, and stoicism are behaviors of a real man. Is it any surprise that men are lonely and have less friends nowadays? You have to be vulnerable to make friends.
That's why they always say that shit. Men don't know how to talk about their feelings. Men are never vulnerable. Men don't open up. No. Men don't open up to your ass, right? That's why a lot of dudes do not talk about how they feel to women, because, like I said, a lot of women, they only view things through their own perspective. So if a man is talking, and I've experienced this myself, it's very annoying. That's why I don't deal with that shit at all. As soon as I see signs of that, bitch, change your behavior or get out of my face. Okay? As soon as a man talks about something that he's going through, the woman sees it through the lens of herself and not through the lens of him. It's very, very tough. It's very tough. That's why there's a lot of like narcissism when it comes to women. A lot of them be very self-centered, and they, a lot of it is programming too. Girl power, girl boss, slay queen. All these men always trying to hold you down. You need to recognize your own power, and yada 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 yada. That's why people don't like shit like She-Hulk. People don't like shit like Captain Marvel. People don't like that new Star Wars shit. People don't like that fucking dumbass Mulan remake, because it's not pushing messages that are real. It's not pushing shit that's real. Okay, men, keep it real. They are pushing these things that are not keeping real to women. And like, bro, like this thing, he's saying men don't open up. Men do open up. If you don't make a good, and it's so, oh my God, the irony is crazy. These same people always crying about safe spaces and yada, 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 yada. Again, they don't believe in safe spaces for men to open up and talk about their feelings. Cause look, these men, they took data, men are the most lonely. What are these people saying? Die. Go ahead, go die. Who cares? What's wrong with you? Nobody, pick yourself up. There's nothing wrong with you. You made this. It's your fault. Why would I care that you're lonely? I don't care. Okay, so if this is how you respond to men open up their feelings, why would men open up their feelings to you? Why would men look towards the left when the left despises them? You dig what I'm saying?
Tell me there aren't systemic problems affecting men. Now, while a lot of this may be true, men have been socialized this way for centuries, and this is all relatively a new phenomenon. Toxic masculinity has existed forever. If anything, there's less toxic masculinity nowadays. The cultural embrace of like gender nonconformity, femboys, Harry Styles in a dress, Barbie movie, blah, 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 blah. My point is...
That's the thing. People like to punch at ghosts. They always act like something is out to get them, something is out trying to stop them. But no, the problems that they're fighting against are not as prevalent as they used to be. But people are constantly searching for a purpose nowadays. So that's why you got people on the left and people on the right too. But definitely a lot of liberals and shit. The social activist generation, they want a purpose. They want to feel like they matter. They want to feel like that they are doing something special and meaningful with their lives, when they just simply don't have the same problems that our ancestors had. Okay, they're not fighting for no civil rights nowadays. What are you fighting for? Ain't much shit to fight for. Okay, and the real issues are a lot more complicated. Back then, it's a lot more overt. Okay, yeah, look, see, segregation, Jim Crow. That's very obvious thing to fight against. Now it's more so, the consequences of shit like redlining, the consequences of, food deserts, the consequences of, let's say, economic disparities. But those are complicated issues, right? That us, are the dopamine inflicted, the overworked, overfed generation. We don't know how to address that in a short TikTok video, okay? So that's why it's a lot easier to make up things or exaggerate things that are simpler to fight against. That's why a lot of these people go out and march and they feel like they did something, but you didn't do shit. Nothing changed. The policies or whatever that you would have a problem with are still in place. Voting does not change anything. You have to know what you're voting for and know who you're voting for. All the people that voted for Joe Biden, I bet you they can't name 3 of his policies.
Toxic masculinity did not just appear in the mid-2010s, but social media did, and the internet did, and the rise of dating apps did, and the housing crisis, and living in a country where the wealth inequality is worse than it was during the Gilded Age. That all happened recently.
We're gonna pause for a second.
Oh my god, the privileged life these poor little boys must have, that their biggest problem is being lonely, i.e. so insufferable that nobody wants to sleep with them. So much more pressing than the poor distribution of wealth causing people to suffer food and housing insecurity. Boo-hoo, you're lonely and have no friends and are suicidal, wah. Because feeling alienated under capitalism apparently isn't a thing. People are working harder and longer while wages have been stagnant, men have been dropping out of college like flies, and what does that get you? Poor men. Which, since women are doing amazing in college now, and many are now out-earning men, this most of the time leads to single men, which then leads to lonely men, which leads to depressed men, which leads to the high suicide rate. In my opinion, leftism at a policy level does a great job addressing the shitty material conditions that in part lead to the problems that men are facing, but then absolutely drops the ball when it comes to everything and anything related to men's cultural issues. Many such cases. And why would a struggling man even want to move left when the left appears actively hostile to them?
The question of whether or not the hashtag online left does enough to appeal to hashtag men has become the question du jour. And men have most of the money, authority, and do most of the murdering and assaulting.
The average young man in America isn't Jeff Bezos. Also, why did this motherfucker just FBI crime statistics at me? Men do the most murder. Okay?
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve. They like that. They want it to stay that way because it suits them. Because of the stuff, telling people they're special and deserve all the nice shit that they have, that's going to be an easier sell 10 times out of 10 than saying, hey, maybe you should have less stuff and other people should have more.
Leftism is when you don't have a lot of stuff. We're gonna take your stuff. You sound like a 65-year-old Fox News boomer's idea of what the left is. Are you a CIA agent? The right is saying to men, you will own a house. You will have beautiful children with your loving wife. You will have privacy. You will have free speech. You will own things, and you will be happy. And the left is like...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But don't get me wrong, Republicans will not do shit. The Republican Party will not do shit. The establishment in general will not do shit to help any of this. But the right is, at least rhetorically, offering men something other than nothing or the eternal HR department. Every time this discord comes up, there's people like, we need a leftist Andrew Tate. We need masculine role models on the left. But the fact is, it's hard for progressives to organically appeal to men, because a large part of progressivism is oppressive hierarchy, and men are oppressors. Making progressivism look appealing to young men is an uphill battle from the start. And although it's funny to laugh...
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Listen, there's a part in Marxist ideology where There's always a hierarchy of oppressors and the oppressed. And in the leftist case, the oppressors are always men or straight white men. So, naturally, they would never appeal to men. The only men that would be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'll sign up for that. Are the men that got their nuts cut off, okay? And not literally, but literally and figuratively, actually. Listen, so that's the only type of men that this shit would appeal to. The ones that will knowingly sign their manhood away and be belittled because of who they are and what they are. Men. Nigga like me, I ain't signing up for that. You ain't gonna disrespect me, nigga. I ain't do shit to you. Get the fuck out my face. You feel me? But a lot of dudes are soft, and as we previously seen, there's a lot of biological reasons for why a lot of men are soft. They see all these femboys, all these soy boys. Okay, that's what these people. Those are the type of dudes that that generally go towards left leaning, and the same dudes that actually want to be women or think that they're women. Just like the dude we just seen, the weirdo that she just showed on the screen. Those are the type of people those type of dudes, the type of men that will align themselves with the left. I'll check my privilege and do better to be a better ally. I'll do my part to make this world a better place. Come on, bro. That shit will never work. It will never work. It will never work. No matter how much you try to weaken men's minds and spirits and bodies, people like me will never fall for that. Never.
That insane people on Twitter, as always. There have been a lot of left-wing content creators talking about men's issues. If you would have told me this would be a thing 9 years ago, I would not believe you, because anyone talking about men's issues back in the day was called an MRA or a pick-me. But lately I have seen a lot of good pro-men lefty content, and I'll put some links to some below. I don't agree with all the points they say, but I recommend watching. It's much better than...
They like having all of the stuff they don't deserve.
But the issue is a lot of...
Like, what are you talking about? What stuff are you talking about, and what do I not deserve? Who said I deserve anything? What do you deserve then? You deserve everything? What? Because people that's in the same group as you will have been oppressed in the past or face discrimination? Newsflash, everybody in every group has faced discrimination, buddy. Yeah. Back then, let's talk about men versus women. Yeah, there's problems that women were facing. Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't own property. Women couldn't do this. Women couldn't do that. But guess what? The majority of men were the ones that were forced to be the breadwinners. Well, not forced. They're the ones who were the breadwinners. They're the ones who were forced to do those hard, menial labor jobs. Those ones who would get sick at work and die early. Those ones who would, those ones who were forced to go to war and fight to protect your society that you live in, for you to have all the nice stuff that you have, right? So yes. Women had issues. Men had issues too. And I remember I've seen Jordan Peterson actually talk about that too. And it's like, to just frame it as if only one group of people had issues. It's back in the day. Everybody had issues, bro. Everybody had issues. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. It's real shit. You can't frame it as one is worse than the other when they're both pretty bad. If you only, but people are biased and shit. The only group dynamic I would not use that with is probably with black people, because black people is very different, because there's open animosity that was against black people in America. That's it's facts. Not the same with women, okay? Not entirely the same. There was poor white people back then that was struggling, but again, people didn't separate them or give them worse education just off of who they were. Okay, let's go.
Lefty pro-men content, it's always framed around how do we get them? As if men are just pawns and tools for your personal politics.
They are, and that exposes how they think of everybody else. And same shit with people on the right too, to an extent. But definitely with the left, the liberals. Everybody is pawns to them. That's why they try to, they try to get all the black voters, and they don't do nothing for them. They try to appeal to black voters and then do shit for black people that black people actually want. They see you as pawns. They see you as things to use. Just like with women. That's why all these people, these politicians and these corporations work together to market towards you. That's why women are the biggest consumers in America. They push a lot of the economy, because they're the ones buying a lot of shit, bro. All these beauty products, hair products, shit like that stuff. Because women always want something, bro. It's tough, but that's facts, bro. They're the biggest consumers, so they market to them the most. It is what it is. And I think recently they feel like they probably cracked the code because Barbie, I didn't watch it. I don't feel like paying for that shit, but I might watch it when it, if I can find it somewhere. I'll watch it and see what I think about it. But Barbie made a lot of money. The Barbie movie made a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's something that was kind of targeted towards women. It's like a classic women-targeted brand. Barbie dolls.
How do we make the left more appealing to men? How do we stop lonely men from moving to Andrew Tate? Instead of just, how do we help men? And I think that's a really big issue. Both sides seem to treat men as political fodder. Disposable soldiers in the culture war and real war. Anyway, misandry is real. Oh good, finally! And while it doesn't systemically affect cis men, it most certainly affects trans men. Oh.
What the
Y'all
fuck?
talking about misandry doesn't harm men, and trans men are right there reading this shit, by the way. I see, now we only care about misandry because it affects trans men. Everyone stop! It's affecting a group I care about now. I love how the rhetoric just evolved overnight from male tears to cis male tears. And I just have to ask, why aren't you including trans men in your misandry,
Nobody told me how lonely being a man is. We knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to have people want to hug us and to have people want to talk to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you. And friendships are...
I remember when this came out. I didn't react to it. I seen other people did. I just didn't get to it. But I did a video similar to this, talking about somebody's story who had a very similar thing to what this motherfucker's saying. It's kind of comical. Just, just seeing the reactions.
So much harder to build. What's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid. But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men.
Welcome to being a man. Here's your complimentary isolation and yellow pillow. I love how even when he's experiencing the issues of being a man, he's like, this doesn't invalidate people hating men. Come on, bro. Men struggling don't want to... Exactly. Like, shut up. You gotta, bro, that's the thing, you can't a man can't talk about what he's going through, and to me, that's not even a man, to me, okay? But, not even to me, that's not a man, that's a woman that was trying to be a man. But it's you can't even talk about your issues that you're going through without trying to preface for the other groups. It doesn't invalidate what they go through, but yeah, it's, shut up, grow some nuts, bruh. You going through something, bruh, that's These people try to infiltrate men's spaces, and these people I mean by women and some of these lefties, right? They try to infiltrate men's spaces, tell everybody that they're evil, they're bad, they're wrong, and they need to change and be more like me, and yet when these men are having issues, they don't know how to address them. That's why they attack everything. They attack video games, right? They attack, and they try to make everything unattractive and unappealing, because they feel like, oh, men don't like fat people, men don't like ugly women. We need to make all these motherfuckers fat and ugly, so we can feel accepted. We're like, bro, even other women don't want to see that shit, okay? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Now, they try to attack anime, which luckily still is not working, right? And yeah, anime definitely has some problems for sure. But, they try to attack this shit, but it's not working. Because a lot of anime, a lot of shonen manga and anime they target. And the audience is young boys, young men, right? But, of course, these motherfuckers want to get their fingers in that shit. And yeah, bro, anything that's to do with men, they try to attack you, bro. And it's almost as if, the mainstream narrative has always been in the female perspective. Look at all these talk shows. Look at all these, morning shows. They're women-led, women-hosted. The View, The Talk, a bunch of other shit. The Oprah Winfrey Show, all this other shit from the woman's perspective, female perspective. You don't see it. Where's the male equivalent of The View? And I talked about this before. Actually, another one of my early videos. Why do all these male advice channels exist? Because men's point of view has not been the mainstream thing to talk about the issues that men go through, right? That is what it is. And if you talk about an issue men have, they write it off as a joke, like paternity fraud, for example, or divorces. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of issues that men go through that is just shunned, like you've seen. To be lectured about the patriarchy. They don't want to be told it's all their fault. They don't want to be told they're part of the problem because, first of all, they're not. The average 20-year-old didn't build society. They go to work, come home, off to sissy hypno fetish porn and go to bed like everyone else. I've talked about this before, but a lot of men's value comes from the money they make, unfortunately. Men are natural providers, and if they have nobody to provide for, they get into findom or send random girls on the internet money. I'm just kidding, but the fact is, a lot of men simply feel like they don't have a purpose anymore.
Ooh,
whether a job or a
facts.
career that's fulfilling and pays well, or a woman or family to protect and take care of and provide for. Men are lacking purpose, and a man will crawl through broken glass for a purpose. But you know who does make them feel like they have a purpose?
Andrew Tate? Religion?
No, not him.
I say that life as a man is exceptionally difficult. I say the most beautiful and the most terrifying thing about being a man is you're born without value. Society doesn't care about you.
The absolute audacity to act shocked that Andrew Tate is scooping these guys up after a decade of lol male tears is insane. Andrew Tate isn't the solution to men's problems, but he is talking to them. The fact is, you did not care about them for years, and even now you just want to recruit them, not help them.
Yep.
And that's why you will fail.
Yep.
And hey, maybe I'll be the Andrew Tate of the left. Men, listen up. Wash your penis. So I guess I'll leave you guys with a question. Why do you think male loneliness has been increasing? What are your solutions for this problem? And are you dealing with loneliness? And I will see you guys next time with a new video.
Shoot on it. Listen, I like her, bruh. Hey, she was spitting, bro. Subscribe. I want to see what else she be talking about, okay? Hey, let's look at some of these comments. As a guy, all I want is for someone to care about me besides my mom and dad. Aww. I feel so bad that society overshadows men's problems. Thank you for talking about this. I wish I could give every guy going through these things a big hug. Seriously, y'all deserve it. Please don't give up. Aww. In my experience, women tend to believe all we care about is sex. That is what, as a man, is the intimacy, the trust, that feeling of having someone each other can rely on to build a future. I am so astronomically lucky that I met my wife. I definitely felt the male loneliness for years and it affects you in weird ways. The what zero pussy does to a motherfucker meme is real. That's facts. I generally became a better person once I had someone to share my world with, and I hope all you guys find that same joy. Stay strong, brothers. Thanks for this. I came very close to being a college dropout, but was convinced to stick it through, so at least I had a bachelor's. So excited a few months later. So no, thank God. Oh, damn, that's a lot. Any man who unironically says that jerking helps with their loneliness is lying, not to us, but themselves. Facts, bro. Fuck wrong with you? Not only are men not okay, we must have switched timelines to a universe where shoot uploads weekly. I've hit a point where I struggle to show emotion, even something as simple as expressing gratitude or smiling as someone feels forced to me. Whew, I want to see some hate comments. Where's the hate? Show me the hate so we can laugh at them. Get rid of all men? Okay, Hitler. We'll just go right to genocide on the entire gender. Does she not realize she wants to end the human race? Yeah, bro. Listen. A lot of these people are insane. And the fact that the left has so many insane people and they refuse to acknowledge when somebody's insane, that is what pushes these people, that pushes men specifically away from Democrats, the left, and liberals. Because why would I want to be on a side that hates me? If you watch Rippaverse, Young Ripper, Eric July, he talks about it a lot when he talks about social things and when it comes to politics. These people hate you. These people hate you, bro. They hate you. You know what I'm saying? And if you say anything they don't like, they will come to get you. They will wish violence and death upon you. It's very strange, bro. Very strange. So, all you can do is continue to be the best you that you can be, and be a man, be a good man, a decent man, a responsible man, a strong man. You know what I'm saying? Find your purpose. Find hobbies, find community, find friends, because community is what is the most important thing in life. And the fact that there's been a big destabilization in community and the family structure, which certain people push. That's why a lot of these people go to online for communities and stuff. These things are real things that we need as humans to survive in this crazy, crazy world. And it's hard. It's a hard battle that we have because there's so many forces that are out to get us, just to make a profit out of us, to use us and abuse us and drain us and, and restrain us. It's real shit, bro. But, I wish you all luck, bro. If there's anything I want y'all to take from this channel, it's these type of messages. You have to find your strengths and lean into your strengths. Don't let anyone tell you that you're bad just for existing. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. You know, check out her channel too, because I seem like she might have some other interesting stuff on there. We're gonna look into it. And yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.